Bonjour tout le monde, welcome my French Life family, welcome to Paris. Today we're in the 7th arrondissement. We are in the Musee Rodin. I will turn my camera around and show you where we are. So the 7th arrondissement, we are located directly across the road from Les Invalides. So if you are familiar with Les Invalides, this is the dome where Napoleon's tomb is, very directly beneath this dome here. The Invalides is originally an army hospital and retirement home for veterans, war veterans, which was built a very long time ago, 1600s. And it became particularly well utilised with Napoleon, who was very proud of his armies and very much honoured them. And it is now also the Museum de l'Armée, which you can go and visit. You can also visit this church here with all the mausoleum of lots of Napoleon's family and other famous generals, notable war people. Okay, so I have come to the Musée Rodin for the very first time in 15 years. I've been wanting to come to the garden for a couple of years now, but for various reasons I haven't made it. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to walk because there's so much to see. It's so beautiful. I was planning on going for a walk around the arrondissement as well, but honestly there's so much to see in here that I think we'll just stick to here. Hello in Popuel, how are you, sweetheart? Lovely to see you. Okay, alright. Should talk about this a little bit. I understand this statue has its original, so this is another study of it, I guess. Has its original in Calais. It's called the Burghers of Calais. The bourgeois de Calais. So this garden is quite amazing. Like I said, I've been wanting to come here for a really long time. I'll go this way actually. So this is my first time here. I went to the museum 15 years ago, so over in this building here, and it was really lovely, but I never actually got out to the garden. So I've been wanting to do it for a really long time. Now I'm finally here. I'm very happy. So Rodin was a famous sculptor back in he was born in the early mid 1800s and died at the beginning of the 1900s. He was so renowned for his work that, I might go this way, that he was already famous before he died, which doesn't happen to a lot of artists, but for him it did. And when before he died, he bequeathed his entire art collection to the city of Paris under the conditions that it be made into a national museum, which of course they did. Right, unfortunately the sun's against us with this particular thing. This is one of his most prized works of art. It's called The Gates of Hell. It was actually unfinished, so not completed when he died, and it's based on Dante's work, The Divine Comedy. So if we have a closer look at it, I'm not familiar myself with The Divine Comedy, not having read it or anything, but I know that it's representations of hell and purgatory, and I guess of course heaven as well. So it's a very detailed piece of work. It's quite lovely. Okay. Now I'm not sure if anybody's actually messaging at the moment, because I'm not getting any comments up. So if you are messaging me and I'm not seeing your comments, I apologise. So if you are there and you haven't already posted a message, please do so, and hopefully it will pop up. Not sure what's going on there. Okay. Oh, probably should mention up the top here, I zoom in a little bit, there's a very famous, another famous work of his called the Ponce, le Penseur, or the Thinker. So the standalone Ponce is in this garden as well, and we will go and see that in a moment. So there's a lot to see in a very short amount of time, so I'm not going to show everything. I've just myself had a very quick zip around the garden, and it's definitely a place that you would want to come and enjoy slowly. It's incredibly tranquil. Today we are having a bit of a heat wave, a pre-summer heat wave. So this is kind of probably the best place to be. It's going to be really hot and there's lots of beautiful shade here. What I'm showing you at the moment are a lot of his marble statues, which have been, I guess, reassembled here. Some of them have been in other places and they've been returned here as part of the National Rodin collection. So there's a lot to see, and unfortunately with the glare you probably can only see me rather than the statues inside. Okay, so there's a lot of information available here. You can read various bits of information such as this. They have, it's like a little parkour, a little track where you can go around and read little tidbits of Rodin's life. So 40 of them, I understand. Okay, so to tell you about the museum itself, so it consists mainly of the Untitled Chapter, which is the beautiful building just over here. That houses most of his collections, and it also includes a collection from Camille Claudel, who was his lover and a student of his and collaborator. So that's the permanent collection inside this large building. Also at the front by the entrance there are temporary exhibits, and so when you come in you get access to this building here, the temporary exhibits, and the garden. Now the garden used to be free, you could just come in and enjoy it yourself. However, they've decided not to do that anymore. Okay, so lots of statues in here as well. I will go around and take individual photos of everything. I'm going to be posting a lot of photos today because I certainly won't be able to take you for a walk around it all. Alright, let's come over here. So the entrance to this beautiful building is on the other side. I will go in and have a look. I can see that Jen is here. Hello Jen. I can see a couple of people on screen, but I cannot actually see any comments if you happen to be making them. So I apologise for that. Here's another technical difficulty. Alright, so the garden extends down just beyond those little arcades down the end there. I zoom in just there. So it's a good sized garden considering we're in the middle of the 7th arrondissement. And directly behind that wall there is a high school. So it'll be a pretty cool high school to go to, if one was lucky enough to go there. zoom out. It's a good place to visit for people in wheelchairs. So it's wheelchair accessible. It has nice toilets, which is always a bonus. Further down this end of the garden here, it's actually a picnic table. I don't know if you're actually supposed to be using that. I guess you can. But if you don't want to, there's a cafe here, which I might have to check out very soon. It looks really lovely. So we have toilets here. And this heads back up to the other end of the garden. What we're looking at here. So lots of beautiful statues all throughout this garden. The garden itself is just lovely. I think I can go up here. I think I'm a bit lost here. Let me see if I can get it. No, I have to go down this way. Right, I know where I'm heading. Just can't quite get there. Right. Beautiful ferns. So like I said, we are across the road from Les Invalides. So if you're ever in this area, you can get here by Musee Rodin, which is just down the road, just over the wall there in fact. And it's line 13, and you can get off, and there's actually a few copies of some of Rodin's most famous work in the metro station. That kind of reminds you where you are. This part of the garden is really lovely, and if you're a fan of roses, you're going to enjoy this immensely. So this is one of Rodin's most famous work, Ponce the Thinker. So that's based on Dante himself contemplating humanity when he writes the Divine Comedy. So this is the entrance to the permanent exhibit here, into this beautiful building. And this is towards the entrance. It's where the gift shop and everything is. And there's Le Penseur. This rose garden is absolutely divine at the moment. The roses are so colourful and they smell amazing as well. So that's really cool. And there's the Penseur. Another one of his most famous statues is the Kiss Lubizzi, which is a marble statue of two lovers kissing. That's actually inside the building behind us. I remember seeing that 15 years ago when I was here. So, more roses that way, more roses that way. This is the temporary exhibit entranceway and the gift shop, which is a beautiful building. And we will finish back in front of the main building here. Sorry, we've got the sun in our faces here. Okay. So here we are back in front of the main entrance to the permanent exhibit. You can also go visit his house in Meudon. This was actually his atelier. This is where he did his work, which is kind of like amazing. I mean, imagine this is your office. He started off by just having a few rooms here, but shortly before he died, he basically had the entire building. He did all of his works in here, and of course it was owned by the city of Paris, and so they agreed to turn it into his museum once he died. And so yeah, he lived at Meudon, so some of his collection is there as well, but a great deal of it is here. So actually Today's been a bit more about me because this is one of the things on my bucket list, so I finally got to do that. I'm very happy with that. Going to now go inside and enjoy the exhibits. I will post some photos about those and try and stay out of the sun because it's already really hot. So thank you for joining me. I'm really sorry if you tried to message and I haven't seen any of the messages because technical difficulty. I'm not really sure what's going on. I have a walk planned for Friday already, in the 6th. However, we do have forecasts for torrential rain and thunderstorms because of all this hot weather that we're having now. So I don't know how exciting that will be, but I do have some cool things planned for Friday. So fingers crossed the weather is slightly more lenient than expected. Thank you again for joining me. Don't forget, if you're in France, please post your videos as well, because we'd really like to see other parts of France. And also the myfrenchlife.org group, which has all of the articles and photos and links and everything, information that Judy has lovingly put together. And also our YouTube page, which has all of my videos and other videos as well. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you on Friday in Saint-Germain-des-Prés. Catch you then. Bye.